Hello and good morning, friends. It is Amy back in the basement studio. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. My name is Amy Rich, and I am happy to welcome you to episode 301 of this beautiful Stamp Together Saturday. And what's cool is now for a few episodes, I won't forget what episode we're on, because we've hit that milestone 300. Now it's easy. It's like 301. And then next week it'll be easy again. And maybe for about a month, it'll be easy to remember what number, and then it'll get hard again. So whatever, this is how the 50-plus-year-old memory works. And many of you understand. Hello, Cindy. Good morning. It's great to have you popping on today. Last week we were over at church and you were, clapping your little clapper and having a good time, I think. So it's weird though, isn't it, that you kind of anticipate 300 for a long time and then all of a sudden, poof, it's gone. And I'm pulling you up on my computer, everybody, or I'm actually on my iPad this morning. And just to not miss any of your comments. So today we have a quick one, an easy one, and one that, I've said this before, don't blink or you'll miss it type of a card. And it's just a simple one that you can use scraps, square scraps, small square scraps of paper. And that's really hard to say. I'm not going to try it again because I'll definitely screw it up if I try to say it one more time. But lots of beautiful paper that we have in the online store right now. And this one in particular caught my eye immediately when it came out. It is in the new mini catalog, the January to April 2026 mini catalog, and I'm going to show you the pieces, and we're going to make this quick card, and it's going to be a fantastic morning. It is flippin' freezing here, and yesterday I was going to post a photo. It was, it felt like 35 below. I haven't even looked this morning because I'm like, all I know is that it's cold. And so that's all I need to know. I'm glad you like simple cards, Joan. This takes the cake. And we are going to talk about a couple of easy switches that you can make to make it a little more fancy. I like a lot of white on my cards. Some of you do not. So we'll talk about a couple workarounds that we can use for that sort of thing. So are we ready? I think so. All right, we're going to flip the camera. Last week we had very few people here. No, just kidding. We had a lot of people watching. This morning, it's a lot less, which is fine. I don't mind at all hanging out with you, few people that are here. If it were me, I may actually still be in bed because it is so cold and the bed is so warm, especially in the morning right away. When we try to get up, it's really hard. So, all right, I talked about the designer series paper, but I didn't tell you the name of it, I don't think. It is called Lovely and Beautiful. It is in the mini catalog, and it's got a gold foil. I'm going to bring in the piece, a larger piece. You can see kind of the gold foil shimmer a little bit there. And then there's the back side. I love Old Olive, and as I know many of you do, so you gotta love this paper because it's got that Old Olive piece, and I love leaves, so that's nice and versatile. Here's the back side, what I would call the back side of this one, and that is so pretty. It's got a little fresh freesia, it's got a little maybe petal pink, and some, I should read the actual names of them on here. That one's really pretty. I know there's Calypso Coral in here. Yeah, petal pink, fresh freesia. Look at that gold just sparkle. Okay, so this is, let's see. This is a class that I am doing in February. It is something out of the ordinary. We will make 3 fun fold cards with this beautiful paper. And I mean, it speaks for itself. And then, so those of you who sign up for, I think those are the only ones I have right here next to me. If you sign up for option 1, on this class, you will receive a half a pack of that paper and some amazing ephemera. It's got gold foil. It is also in the mini catalog. And I don't have any down here at my desk, so I am unable to show you, but I am excited about that class. Let's talk about the stamp set we're going to use, Fabulous Sayings. This is, you can purchase this for $5 with a $75 order. It is the product of the month. It's a great deal and a fantastic sentiment stamp set. We're going to use that today. So the first thing we're going to do is add our squares, our Designer Series paper squares, to our Fresh Freesia cardstock. And I don't know evidently how to use this. There. Now I should be able to see your comments. No? Come on. Okay, well, I guess I can't. Hi, good morning. I hope you're all doing well this morning. It is, like I said, very cold here. We're basically staying inside, although yesterday I had so much running to do that I was all over town, and it is very interesting because we all right now are like wearing our hats, and sometimes you go a long stretch in the winter without wearing hats and maybe gloves, but for me, a hat is a must right now. So hats are on, good hair is out right now. We don't worry about our hair right now because it is too cold. Okay, I see some of the comments here. Missy, hello. Good to see you this morning. All right, so we've got our little squares ready for action. And next up, we're going to take our white piece. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And ribbon. I chose our gold striped ribbon. It is a see-through ribbon. Meshy kind of a look. And we're going to wrap that around our basic white piece and just tie a knot, which I've decided I want mine to end up at the bottom. I like the look that's going to give. One of the different things that you could do for this one is for sure to put it at the top if you'd prefer. Like I said, I prefer the bottom. If you cut your ribbon a little bit longer, you could do a bow if you wanted to. The measurements that I shared are for just a knot. When I do a knot, it's going to go straight up and down. I'm not going to worry about where my ribbon goes, honestly. I will cut those short, and it's going to work however it comes out. I'm not picky that way, but if you are, you do you. It's all about what you want out of your Stamp Together Saturday card. It's cold. Where are you? British Columbia, yeah. We've had minus 17 isn't very cold for us, for Celsius, because we're Fahrenheit, and that's, I don't think, very cold for us. We hit like 20 below real temperature, and then I wish I could do the conversion, because I'm not sure what the conversion is, but it's cold. All right, next we're going to add Stampin' Dimensionals to our squares. This particular design is perfect for just your scrap that's laying on the table that you've trimmed off of a piece of DSP, Designer Series paper. So great for scraps. I'm just doing a dimensional in each corner. I think that'll do the trick pretty well. And then we're going to layer these over our ribbon. All right, so you have to kind of decide where your ribbon wants to be. I'm going to go about here, because then when we lay our ribbon over, there's still white space on the left. And there's what I said in the cutting instructions, or in the supply instructions, that you want to stamp about 2 inches wide for your sentiment. So then you'd be able to have that right here. Cold in Colorado too. I think it's all over, don't you think? I've been hearing that anyway. I'm not going to worry too much about spacing. Like, I'm not going to put one down here and then one in the middle. I'm just going to go with what I know about what I want in between each one. I just want to be able to see that ribbon a little bit and then work my way down. So let's talk about some variances you can do here. You could, for sure, turn your card the other direction so that your squares are across. And in that case, what you could do for sure is space these out and, you know, have them a little more even. You could use a light colored piece of cardstock if you wanted to. I didn't have a light color that I thought would be good except for Fresh Freesia. And I wanted Fresh Freesia to kind of be my focus here. So you could do this colored cardstock as long as you can write on it. You could also do darker if you wanted to punch it out or fussy cut out your sentiment and put it on there that way. You could also, which could be a really fun idea, if you had a lighter colored DSP that you could layer that on, that would look really cool. This maybe isn't light enough for me, but if it was, you know, if it was a Fresh Freesia Designer Series paper, you could stamp your sentiment on that and still have an interesting backdrop for your squares. So there are all different ways you could do it. You could also stamp your sentiment before you put the squares on and then run it through an embossing folder. You'd have to do that before you stamp your sentiment. Otherwise, hi Kathy. Otherwise it would be too hard to get that stamped image. But I'm just using the thank you again from the $5 Fabulous Saying stamp set. That is our product of the month for the month of January. And then I'm using a Fresh Freesia card base, and we're going to add our basic white layer. And then our card is finished, sweet, simple, to the point, with a little bit of glitz with my gold choice of ribbon in there, and it really accentuates those foils in the Designer Series paper. So lots of fun, real easy, 1-inch squares, 1 1/4 inch mats, 4 by 5 1/4 inch white, and then your regular size 8.5 by 5.5 inch card base. Boom! Easy. One more thing you could do, of course, to add some glitz and glamour to this card would be to add some jewels or gems or adhesive backed dots or whatever it is that you have laying around that would coordinate nicely. That would look good here too. But the star of the show is definitely the Designer Series paper today. Lovely and beautiful. You can find that in the mini catalog. Yay! And when you spend $75, which is like 5 or 6 packs of Designer Series paper, depending on what you choose, you can get this sentiment stamp set for free. Or, of course, we have the old True Blue Florals DSP available still, as well as a product of the month. It is so pretty. Thank you, everybody. Pretty, pretty. Easy, easy. We like a little bit of both. So, excellent. I'm going to flip the camera back. And we will say goodbye. Have a great day. I got the new tool, and actually I'll be featuring that in a week and a half or so, as we look forward to What's Up Stampers. But speaking of What's Up Stampers, next week's What's Up Stampers will be on Tuesday again. So please be aware of that change. I had to change my schedule to be out of town last Wednesday because of weather. So now I'll be out of town this Wednesday. So plan to see me on Tuesday. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.